This week on Archery 101, a continuation of our series on gap shooting. This week we're going to talk about the different things that can influence your gap. Hey everybody, and welcome to Archery 101. Greg here. Down in the basement here at Flying Arrow Sports in Carmel, we're talking about things that can affect your gap. And the biggest thing that can affect your gap is your bow. Now, first thing we're going to talk about on your bow is your draw weight. The heavier the draw weight, higher the poundage. Generally speaking, the flatter the trajectory. The lower the draw weight has an increased trajectory, generally speaking. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to take two bows, I'm going to put a dot down there, and we're going to take some shots at it, and let's see how much of a difference the two bows have. All right, first up is my 1967 Ben Pearson Colt. It's a 47 pounder, left-handed. It's 47 at 28, but I actually have about a 30-inch draw, so it's a little bit more. I will be using the same arrows. It is a gold tip traditional XTs, 600 spine with 175 grain head. I got a white dot down there, if you can see it. All right, I'm going to put my arrowhead on it and take a shot. All right, now let's get my other bow. All right, for my other bow, it's also a 1967 Ben Pearson Colt, but this one is 38 inches. Now, with my 30-inch draw, it's closer to 40. So there's a 10-pound difference between the two. Same arrows. The arrow you can see down there already is my shot for my 47 pounder. Now we'll take a shot with a 30 pounder. All right, let's go down and take a look at it. All right, everybody, here we are downrange. Here's my two arrows. The top one is my 50 pounder, 47. Bottom one's my 38, and right there is my target. Now between the two of them, there is goes like that. There is about a 4 to 5 inch difference, and that's at 10 yards. And the only reason I shot at 10 was just for demonstration purposes. But from 10 yards, you can see the gap difference already. So that's how much difference you can have between a heavier draw bow and a lighter draw bow. All right, it's not always the same, but it's a generally accurate statement. All right, so that's what it is. So we showed you the first one. The poundage of your bow has a huge influence on the size of your gap. The next thing on your bow that can influence big time the size of your gap is your nock point. Okay, and a lot of people tune their bow to reduce hand vibration and things like that, but you can also use your nock point to adjust the size of your gap. All right. So what I'm going to do, this is my normal gap. I'm going to shoot one with a normal. I'm going to knock it up a little bit higher, and I'm going to knock it up a little bit lower. And let's see how much of a difference we get, okay? That's normal knock. Now I'm going to knock lower. I'm going to knock lower by about, bring it right there, that much. Normal knock, that's where I'm putting it, about 1/4 of an inch. And you see this bow didn't like it. So the lower didn't affect it much. But it did make it dance all over the place, didn't it? All right. Let's go higher. See what this does. Okay. Notice the lower didn't affect it much. That's probably because I already had this set up to where I wanted it. But the higher dropped it down by about 3 inches. So let's go down and take a look at our arrows. Okay, here we are downrange. Normal nock point. The lower knock point actually kicked it up 2 inches. So dropping it a 1/4 inch down, raised my arrow, increased my gap by 2 inches. Then when I knocked it higher, it decreased my gap by 3 inches. All right, so you can see, and you can see this is really bad arrow flight. This baby's a, all right. So to make a larger gap, you lower your arrow. To make a smaller gap, you kick your arrow up. So that definitely can affect your gap. Next thing we're going to talk about is probably the biggest one for most archers, and that is how you hook the string. The difference between split fingered and 3 under. Okay, here we are downrange. "10 inches. I changed my gap 10 inches from split finger to 3 under. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put the camera off to the side and do it again. So hopefully you can see the difference in the angle that the arrows are done at. So let's try that next. Okay, we're going to try it again. We're going to shoot split fingered first. Let's see if we can show you the heavy angle. Now, just so you know, that white dot's about high as my belt. Ooh, gonna shoot split finger. Both of them are being anchored, middle finger, corner of the mouth. All right, now let's try to show you what 3 under looks like. Clip myself, that's all right. All right, about the same result. So let's go down and take a look at that one. Okay, here's the second one. Here they are again. 10 inches. Go figure. Who would have thunk it, right? So that shows you. If you're shooting split and you're uncomfortable with the gap, go 3 under. So you'll go from this high from your target down to this high. So let's measure it. 1, 2, 3. This is about 9 to 10 inches. All right. So to hit that white dot, I would aim 9 to 10 inches, 3 under to hit that white dot. But if I shot split fingered, it would be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, between about 18 and a half to 19 inches. So you went from 10 to 19. That is a huge, huge decrease in gap. The next thing we're going to talk about that can influence your gap is the arrow that you use. All right. First arrow you've been seeing me using is this. It is a Gold Tip Traditional XT 600 spine with 175 grain heads. I am running 4 feathers slight helical that are 5 inches long, and these work well out of my bows. But I'm also going to shoot this one, and it works out of my bows well too. These are Carbon Express Predator 2s. All right, they are 800 spines with a 125 grain head. I am running 4 feathers, 4 inches long. Both arrows are max. When you shoot gap, you always want to keep your arrows as long as you can get them. That is a huge thing. The shorter the arrow, the bigger the gap, the longer the shorter. So if you make your own arrows, you try not to cut them. Now, my Gold Tips weigh 468 grains. My Predator 2s weigh 364 grains. All right, so let's take some shots and let's see how it works. Okay, for this exercise, I'm going to use my 47 pounder because believe it or not, the 800s fishtail like you wouldn't believe. 10 yards, got my target. Predator 2s. Last one was 468 grains of total weight. This is 364. All right, let's go have a look. Okay, here we are downrange. There's the gap, you can see it right there. 5 inches. So roughly a 100 grain difference caused this arrow have a higher trajectory, less weight, more energy, and it was 5 inches up higher. So my gap is actually 5 inches farther from my target. So remember that. Your arrows very greatly affect it. Length is critical, and your weight. You got to find the setup that works for you. All right, boys and girls, the next thing we're going to go over is anchor points. Some people anchor with index finger, corner mouth, other people middle finger. I do a double anchor. My middle finger touches here, and my thumb knuckle touches here. Now, I used to have it touch there, but now I have it touch here because it's just biomechanically feels better for me. So, I don't know how much of a difference this will make because I never tested it. So I'm going to shoot the first one, index finger, 3 under, we'll do that, corner of my mouth. Oh my God. Once again, it just felt like a huge difference. All right, index finger, corner of the mouth. Again, what a difference, huh? Right, everybody, here we are downrange. Index finger, middle finger. The difference, 1, 2, 3, 5 inches. So just doing from here to here, decrease my gap by 5 inches. One more thing that can affect the size of your gap. All right, everybody, the next one we're going to talk about is how do you grip the bow? You know, a lot of bad things can happen to you when you grip the bow wrong. And it all depends on the style of handle you have. But we're going to try 2 of them today. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pressure here in the web of my hand. And the second I'm going to put it here in the meaty portion of my hand. So to show you on my hand, the first pressure is going to be pressure here, right in the web. And the second one's going to be here along my lifeline. Now, will this make a difference? I don't know. So let's just find out. Okay, we'll do web of the hand first. See how it goes. Okay, that was interesting. Now let's try meaty portion of the thumb. Well, I think that's pretty damn conclusive, don't you? So it didn't change it. I mean, they were both the same. So it looks like how you grab it doesn't change it. So the next one we want to try is canting the bow. So, does canting the bow affect your gap? Oh. I will shoot with the bow canted. Nope. So, those don't affect it, so we know those don't. And that's pretty much it that I can think of. So boys and girls, things that can affect your gap. Draw weight, knock point, all right? Size of the arrow, spine of the arrow, how far your hand is from the shelf, and anchor points, split finger, 3 under. Those are just some of the basics. Play with them, find out what you like. You know, it's going to take your mind a while to adjust to the different sight pictures, but remember, the key is to get the arrow as close to the eye as you can get it. All right, boys and girls, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give me a thumbs down. If I forgot a way that might affect it, put it in the comments down below, and I'll probably test it and see if it works. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week with an all-new episode of Archery 101.